Greetings, my name is Chamomile and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today, we're looking at Druess Sector in the 17th Chrome Shield Command of the trailing sectors of the Mid-Rim. The only planet of note here is Sidizia, a high-gravity farming world that became a hotbed of rebel activity due to being largely self-sufficient. As a farming planet, communities could feed themselves, and as a high-gravity planet, shipping things around the planet was really hard, so most communities outside of the major starports had locally produced solutions for things like transportation and power generation. For example, they'd mostly ride six-legged reptiles called striders around because that was easier than getting speeder parts shipped out to remote farming communities on a high-gravity planet. And because they were so self-sufficient, and because it was so difficult for those not acclimatized to the planet to move around on it, Sidizians could basically opt out of the Empire. The Empire might send some demands out to the planet's hinterlands via HoloNet, but the remote farmsteads could just not respond, and the Empire would be hard-pressed to make them regret it without dedicating an entire Star Destroyer to orbital bombardment of one ranch house. Eventually, the Empire figured out a cheaper solution, the artificial supervirus called the Grey Death. Only the Empire had access to cures, and the hyper-effective disease could spread through both the water system and spores in the air for miles and miles, allowing it to reach even very remote locations. Once the disease had reached saturation, the whole planet needed to come into population centers for regular medical checkups, just like other planets' populations need food or machine parts or other trade goods that pass through choke points that the Empire can control. Control the choke points for vital goods, and you control the people who depend on those goods, and now Sidizia depended on medicine that only the Empire could give them. Until the rebels stole it, reverse-engineered it, and set up their own mass production facilities. Sidizia only has a population of like 50 million people, so while cure production did require super labs capable of industrial-scale production, it did not require the rebels to control a multi-planetary supply chain. The Empire did eventually flood the whole planet with stormtroopers, and the rebels were unable to prevent the planet from falling back under full Imperial control, but that was something of a victory in and of itself, tying up tons of stormtroopers on a middlingly, at best, important planet.